Okay guys, on this episode of What Drives You, I'm actually driving solo today. I'm going to surprise my good friend, and I'll tell you, you'll want to make him your friend too. He is not only a culinary artist, but an award-winning chef, Frank McClelland from Frank in Beverly. Now, Frank's been one of our clients over at Land Rover Peabody for over 20 years. He's currently driving a Discovery, and I'm going to surprise him with this Defender D90. I am so excited to be in this car and enjoy it before I give it over to him. I'll tell you something, this car comes in a V4 and a V6. It is super spacious. The trim on this vehicle is unbelievable. It has the most luxurious interior, great contrast in color, and the wood grain on the handles as well as on the sidebar here are absolutely unbelievable. The other thing that I really like about it is that it has seating for 5, but it has stadium seating in the back. So anyone who's in the back is raised up just a little bit so that they can get a good view of everything else. The other thing that I love about it is that it is always in 4-wheel drive. So that means if I decide that I want to go to the city and then go off into the, into the woods, the car is prepared and ready to adjust to my driving habits. It is so super cool. I cannot even tell you how amazing this vehicle is. I am in love with it. The last thing that I should point out too is the top is a big panoramic glass, but it also comes in a soft top, which I was really impressed to hear. And I think that that's a great feature that allows you to, really customize it to whatever your needs are or whatever you like. So just a couple more turns around the corner here and we're going to be at Frank's property. So stay tuned. Let's go and see what Frank has in store and what he's cooking up for us today. Well, hello, Frank.
Oh, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Cool, welcome.
Hey, Pax, what's going on?
Yeah, this is a big lab.
Yeah.
How could you bring this car?
I'm sorry.
Every time I see this, I figure if I had this car, every time I got into it, it'd feel like I'm off to an adventure.
You are off to an adventure. I was off in an adventure for like the last 20 minutes.
Oh, trying to find?
Well, trying to find you, but also just enjoying it because it's so luxurious.
It is
it's
beautiful.
So cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome
Look
to my
at this.
secret garden of inspiration.
Tell me a little bit about this. How are you inspired by this garden and what are you growing?
Well, I've been farming since I was a toddler with my parents and grandparents, and so I've always gardened. And so, or had a farm, and we had Apple Tree Farm in Essex, and we did that for 8 years, which was a huge farm. So this really inspires my life. So this is my little garden that inspires my business at Frank in Beverly, Massachusetts.
Wow. Well, listen, one thing that I know is that you are an artist, a culinary artist, but you are an award-winning chef. Is there something that you're growing right now that you're so just like waiting for it to blossom so that you can use in one of your meals?
Well, it's really a weekly thing, but right now I've got to say I'm really excited about my peas coming out.
Okay.
Because it's peas in this time of year, late June, July, August. Peas just can ignite things, and my onions with it. So all those things just inspire me.
Yeah, that's amazing. So on a daily basis, you will take things from here and then you'll bring them over to the restaurant?
And we'll write the menu around it.
Around it?
Yes.
And you write that before people are coming through the door, or do you do it the day before?
No, we do it on the spot. We just, the team, the family of chefs, we just sit around and get so excited and say, let's do this and this. We just got some bluefish in. Let's do some barbecued bluefish with the beets, the young beets out of the garden. And it just flows like that. And then we just write it and we print the menu every night. And we do it for lunch as well.
That's amazing. I mean, you're really farm to table before farm to table was a thing, right? I mean, you love this.
Yeah, I started doing farm to table in the early 80s and always did it and always had a farm. And then I became friends with farmers all over New England, and I would take road trips in the 80s on a weekly basis and load up my truck and perform a menu around that with New England cuisine.
Wow, that's being a real true artist. I can just imagine that. Like when I'm cooking, I just get things from the refrigerator and I throw them together. There's no recipe, and we have a fairly good meal every night, but not like I've had at Frank's. I mean, at Frank, you walk in, and number one, you have the little store off to the left that has amazing pieces from local artists, things that you guys have sourced. And then, you know, off to a little bit of the right, you have the bar that serves up some very nice signature cocktails, which I enjoy on a Friday.
The cocktail's also inspired by the garden.
Really?
Our general manager, Jim, who does all the cocktails, I just bring him herbs and things from the garden, and he comes up with cocktails around also the garden.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
So do you want to pack up the car and,
I
go over to the restaurant? So Frank, what do you think about the Defender?
Oh, it is.
Am I in trouble? Am I in trouble for bringing it over to you?
You're in big trouble. Let me tell you right now, you're in big trouble because I absolutely love this car. It is so seamless, quiet, but in the same sense, powerful, and the control is incredible too. I think the engineering, they've really put everything together with this Defender.
I agree.
I will be sad to hand it back to you.
I know you will. I knew you were going to love it, and I love driving with you as well. You know, one of the things that I was thinking, and one of the things that I always ask on these episodes is, you know, what drives you in your day-to-day, what drives you? And I guess that's the question, you know, Frank, what drives you?
Well, I think what drives me is nourishing people through my creativity, working with local farms and growers to inspire my creativity so that I can inspire people through my cuisine and move their soul on a daily basis. That's what really drives me.
That's really amazing, and it's really deep, because when you think about food and the food that comes to your table, like a lot of times we don't think about, you know, the farmer that farmed it, the fisherman that brought it into their boat, so that we could consume it and be happy in not only eating it, but be happy in the company of which we're consuming that product. And that's one thing that I love about your restaurant is every time that I've been there, it just feels so much like home. It feels like somebody really took the care to, you know, tell us what's on the plate and where it came from, but also just welcome us with open arms. And I don't think you can ask for more than that. So I think that that's a really wonderful thing. I thank you for that.
Yes, I you know, it really does make you think about what brought this to your table.
Yeah, it really does.
And a lot of care and love went into that, and respect for those ingredients. So it's a lot to think about.
Yeah, it really is. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I love it. So let's hand this over to the team.
It smells delicious in here.
Oh, here we go.
Goodness. Okay, Frank, what do we have?
Well, you know, this is inspiration. These are all the greens, salad mix, the sugar snap peas, eggs. I think I took out of the boxes yesterday. So really fresh eggs, rice and lentils, pickled onions from the garden, and then a herb buttermilk vinaigrette.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, so you know, those are just some of the things, and some of the herb flowers that have blossomed just sprinkled over the top. So when you eat it, it just bursts in your mouth.
I cannot wait to eat it. I thought that this egg was the one that I brought in, so I was so proud of that as a contribution.
Almost. These are eggs that I brought yesterday. So tomorrow,
tomorrow my eggs.
your eggs.
Yeah, this looks amazing. This looks too good to eat. The flowers, I love the touch of the flowers. I can actually smell all of the fresh garden, herbs that we got a little earlier.
It's like when you drove up in the Defender looked too beautiful to even drive.
But we did have fun driving it, didn't we?
We did.
Can we have fun eating this now?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
Okay, good.